Stop it.
This is Tito Brans.
It's recording.
This is Tito Brans here. We're going to show you how to make afritada today.
You should do that. Put that in video.
Today we're going to cook afritada. Afritada in Spanish means to fry, but for the Filipino afritada, there's an element of frying, but overall there's tomato sauce and it's going to be sort of like a little stew. So let's go ahead and start with our afritada, and let's go about with let me show you the ingredients. The main ingredients for chicken afritada will be chicken. We can use chicken breast or thigh. For today, I'm using 1.5 pounds of chicken thigh. We're also going to use some potatoes, which I've cut into cubes, carrots. We're lucky enough to have some carrots that have different colors. Aside from having orange, we also have yellow and purple. We'll have red and green bell pepper, peas, cubed tomatoes, onions, and garlic. We'll also use some salt and pepper, and I'll have a cup of chicken broth. You could use chicken bouillon, and also we're going to use some tomato paste. So let's go ahead and cook our chicken afritada. To start off with, I've heated a pan with oil, and we're going to do a quick fry of the potatoes, the cubed potatoes. The reason I'm doing a fry for the potatoes, it's because afritada has some liquid, and once I don't like the potatoes to be mushy. So what we'll do is we're going to just do a quick fry, sear the corners or the faces of the potato together with the carrots. So this will be quick. You're not going to cook it fully. Just have a quick pan sear for the potatoes. So this is for after frying around 2 to 3 minutes. This is looking good. We have a slightly fried potatoes. We're sealing in the moisture. Next, we'll do a quick fry of the carrots. This will be very quick. So this is after a minute of quick frying the carrots. We're going to set that aside together with the potatoes. Next, we're adding a little more oil. We're now going to stir fry our aromatics. We'll start off with our onions. When the onions are fragrant, we're going to put in now the garlic. Just a quick stir fry on it. Next, we will chicken in high heat, so to seal in all of the flavors of the chicken. So let's get ready to do that. Here's the chicken. That's 1.5 pounds of chicken. I'll just put a little bit more oil. I'm trying to sear it in high heat. I've increased the heat. When cooking Filipino food, the important thing to always remember is technique. A lot of Filipinos are very critical on how Filipino dishes are cooked. But in a way, don't mind it. The important thing is that you have the main elements of the dish and the technique of the cooking. The way that I cook afritada will be different from other people, so don't compare. The important thing that you'll have to find when cooking Filipino dishes, or in this case afritada, is the way that it's done. There should be a commonality with it. With afritada, there's some frying for it, pan searing, and then there's the element of using tomatoes, tomato paste, fresh tomatoes, and things like that. So the essence of Filipino cooking really is reliant on the technique. You could play around with the ingredients. Afritada can be used with pork as well. So what we're doing today is chicken afritada. You could use pork as a substitute for it. So always remember, adhere to the technique, and you can play around with the ingredients. That is the way that you cook Filipino food. Now we've gotten some browning on the chicken. This is already ready to cook. Once you see some browning, it extracts more chicken flavor. So now I'm going to add in the tomatoes, because the dish is tomato based. I think traditionally they said that, I was told that tomato paste or tomato sauce wasn't used, and fresh tomatoes were used and to be used for chicken afritada. But since we have tomato paste, I'm going to use that also. But today I'm adding in the tomatoes just to add some freshness to the dish. So we'll let that cook a little bit, maybe a minute or two, just to extract more of the juices of the tomato. So now I'm just going to add in a cup of chicken broth. There you go. Beautiful, nice color. We're also going to add, I'm going to put the heat to medium. We're going to add in a tablespoon of tomato paste. It complements with the fresh tomatoes that we have. I'm going to mix that in. And we're going to allow this to simmer to cook the chicken. It'll take around maybe 20 minutes or until it's cooked. I'd say maybe 20 to 30 minutes. And once we get to that stage, it's going to be pretty much done. Maybe an additional 10 more minutes just to cook the potatoes and the carrots. Okay, so I'm just going to mix that in here. You could use fish sauce. Fish sauce is the traditional way to do it, but I don't like the fish sauce smell. It stinks up the kitchen, so we'll just use salt. Okay. The other ingredients will follow suit. So our chicken has been cooking for around 25 minutes. Beautiful colors. Now we're going to add in our potatoes and carrots. So the potatoes have been cooking for around 10 minutes. Just check that the potatoes are already soft, and then that's good. I totally forgot to put some chili peppers just to put some kick into it. So let's add some. Now you could put in your red bell pepper and green bell peppers. You add this when the afritada is already cooked, because the bell peppers and the peas cook really quickly. So just mix that in there. Beautiful colors, really fragrant too. There you go. So we'll just let this cook for another 2 or 3 minutes just to allow the bell peppers to soften together with the peas. So here's your chicken afritada. Okay, I was just reminded by my wife that we could also add in, for extra flavor, some cheese. So I'm going to add some cheese. We're just going to let that melt. This is grated cheese, quattro formaggi, because that's what we have in our fridge. So we'll add that in there. Let's see. I know that it will taste really good because cheese complements this dish. Okay, so we'll just let that melt, and then we're ready to plate. So after a few minutes, after a few seconds or less than a minute, the cheese is melted. I'm going to turn off the stove. That actually looks much nicer. Now we're just going to plate some. and do a quick taste test. So here we have it, our chicken afritada with some cheese at the final finishing touch. So let's taste. Oh yeah, that's good. It's as good as just using salt instead of using fish sauce. So if you don't want your kitchen to be stinking up, just use salt and pepper to season your chicken or your afritada. So I have the recipe. It's easy to make. It's also quick. Your ingredients are quite simple. Just chicken, bell peppers, peas, tomatoes, onions, garlic, and all those little things. The additional chili peppers just put in some kick into it, and then the cheese sort of mellowed down the spiciness. So here we have it, your Filipino style chicken afritada. You could also use pork as an alternative. So try it and let me know what you think about it, and don't forget to subscribe.